What do you remember about 2024?
We need a financial transaction tax at a global level where even countries like Kenya pay. We do not want anything for free. You will pay more eventually because you have a bigger economy. We will pay commensurate to our economy. And we want those resources controlled not by IMF and World Bank. Because IMF and World Bank, you have the final say. We don't have no say. We want another organization of equals. Where you have as much say because you pay, as much as we do because we also pay. That's the organization we are looking for. And that is why we are saying we need a new financial architecture where governance, where power is not on the hands of a few people. We can agree on the governance of the institution.
The results of the division on second reading of the Finance Bill 2024 as follows. Ayes 204, nays 115, abstentions nil. So the ayes have it.
Government treat us like foreigners in this place. We are rejecting every single bill no matter what. In that finance. We are rejecting it, every clause.
Honorable Speaker, as I stand here today, I join the Kenyans all over the country who have been very unequivocal that they reject this particular bill. And they reject it emphatically, and they have got very valid reasons to reject it, Honorable Speaker. I really want to send a message to the President. And if he has read the book of Chinua Achebe, Okonkwo was told, this boy has called you father, don't kill him. He went ahead and killed him because he has been told by customs to kill him. IMF, Brentwood Wood, and the USA is telling you to kill Kenyans, but the Kenyans are crying, the blood of Kenyans will remain in your hands. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I oppose.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go.
We all agree that this year has been remarkable. A year to remember for its many challenges, obstacles and risks that tested our resolve and threatened our prosperity, security and happiness. The year began with strong faith and optimism, despite a climate of hardship, uncertainty and widespread anxiety. Security, economic instability, climatic changes, and political uncertainty loomed large. Global economic shocks drove up the cost of living, while conflicts disrupted supply chains, creating scarcity and rising inflation.
Thank you. My name's Mary Gikunga.
Yes, Mary.
Mother of one beautiful girl. And Happy New Year to viewers of Jenga Kenya.
Happy New Year. Situanze kwanza na kushukuru. Hebu washukuru tumefika 700. Hata wakati people count 2024 as having been a very year, that year, we have a reason to celebrate. We started off our Jenga Kenya YouTube TV, our podcast, and we are at 700. Wow. People following and watching us every other time we post our content.
We are very grateful for this family. It's growing. It's growing and it's now 700. We're very thankful. Asante sana, familia Jenga Kenya. And kindly ask others in this new year of 2025 to join us as we discuss matters that are affecting this country, as we Jenga Kenya, as we Jenga familia, as we Jenga each other.
Yeah, Jenga Kenya simply means to build or to construct, and Kenya is this our beloved country, right?
Yeah.
We still have every other reason to celebrate our good nation. So, to the recap of 2024, what do you remember about 2024, Mary?
Yeah, we had a lot of issues. Issues, good and bad, happening at the same go. There've been floods, there've been politics. It has had a lot of things happening.
A lot of things happening in 2025. Our studio is changed. You never remembered to ask them how they see this. Mwaonaje? Just give us some rating, dear viewers, because I promise kwamba this year we are going to bring you some good stuff. And as you can see, this is the much we've done so far. It's only still new, and we're hoping to get you the best out of us. So 2024, very gracious year. What I may remember, because in the beginning of 2024, ilikuwa ni kwamba our president was almost like the president of Africa. Remember that?
Yeah.
The very first meeting with the France president, Macaroni. Is it Macron or Macaroni?
Macron.
Macaroni, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very fascinating looking at President Ruto stand up for Africa and forge for that which is good for Africa.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. What do you remember about that clip?
Having watched, was it How Dare You?
How Dare You? Yes,
conference,
exactly.
How Dare You conference. We had a very strong president talking against the bourgeois, those people who have power.
Yes.
So he was a believer of a lot of things.
Yeah, it is a recap of 2024 and what took place in a beautiful country, Kenya. You are talking about Macron. The meeting.
Yeah.
How Dare You?
Yeah, How Dare You conference. If you listened to how his argument was, he was passionate. He was a passionate leader. He was a passionate man. He was carrying the burden of not only the country, but Africa as a whole.
We have a situation, and let me speak from the perspective of Kenya, our continent in Africa, and the global south. We need emergency liquidity. We need debt relief. We need urgently new money with urgency, with scale. That's our situation. How are we going to get that in the current situation? Listening to Guterres this morning, we get development resources 8 times more expensively than others. We have inadequate resources, and it takes forever to access it. So, how do we, how do we make meaning of this summit that my brother Emmanuel has put together? Our position is that if you want to get debt relief, emergency liquidity, and new money together. Let us live here having agreed on one thing.
But don't you think it was just a setup? Because how dare you? I think the West wanted to see what is really in the heart of this adored president of Africa, our beloved President Ruto, and so that they can know where to hit. Listening at his conversation or his authoritative words during the conference, you can hear him dictating the conference, right? While asking for equal partnership, especially with reference to the African and the Western trade. Yeah, he's asking not that trade of tokenism, but that mutual trade. Even going as far as pointing out the discrepancies that are there in terms of when the West fund Africa, they exaggerate almost everything.
Yeah.
They underfund them, and then they overcharge the repayments. What do you think about that?
Whatever I'll say, because we are discussing 2024.
Yes.
And when we're discussing 2024, we are discussing our republic.
Yes.
When we're discussing our republic, we're discussing our father,
yes.
father of the nation.
Yeah, father of the nation.
President Ruto.
Yes.
And we're trying to find out what happened to our president.
Exactly.
What are the changes that we're seeing in our president that is shifting the whole thinking of mwananchi in Kenya? So as we discuss and as you ask me this question,
yes.
I think the biggest question, first of all, we should try to get into is, what did Ruto believe in before? What did Ruto believe in before 2024, before all these occurrences that is bringing all this backsliding in terms of democracy and all these?
I think Ruto had a good intention for Kenya, but along the way, probably he was not guided. He thought that working in the old rules, hizo rules akina Mobutu Sese Seko and kina Museveni, the old guards, will work in this era. But then what he wanted to become is like he wanted to become a president of the world, not even a president of Kenya. In the beginning, everybody applauded him for his courage of standing up even to represent Africa as a whole, not only Kenya, as you have said, but Africa in Jumla. But along the way, I think the pride overtook, and then it became a threat to the West. And probably they wanted to get what is deepest in his heart so that they know where to hit. From the clip, you can see that you can hear him authoritatively declaring his intentions on behalf of Kenya and on behalf of Africa. Something that does not go down well with IMF representatives and with the World Bank representatives.
As we discuss this, I know some of our viewers, if not all, you can go and read the theory. I love the theory of Karl Marx, or we call it Marxist
the Marxist theory.
Yeah, whereby in this, relating to what we are seeing now in this country, we are proletariats. We work for the West. We just weak, and they are bourgeoisie, the big, the capitalists, the ones who own the economy.
Yes.
So when you start threatening or poking or showing your strength to them, I think you should be very, very ready to be, if the way Mishuki said, if you rattle a snake,
you be willing to
be very ready. So in this situation is our president. It has been done before.
Yes.
It has been dead before, and we've seen what has gone down with Libya, President Gaddafi.
You go down.
We've seen what has gone down with Mugabe. sanctions,
Yes.
Zimbabwe going down in terms of economy. We've seen what has gone down with Hugo Chavez, because these are the people, these were the leaders. Sankara, there are a lot of leaders, but how far they went is like, now it should be a lesson on how did, what the mistake they did, and how they were attacking, how they did it. I think those are the lessons he should have learned before going fully.
So are you saying that the West is untouchable?
The West, yeah, it is.
We are the people who call the shots. We all know this, but somehow we have intentionally decided to become slaves of the West. And probably that is what our beloved President Ruto wanted to cut Africa from.
But
right?
you know the consequences. There are sanctions that are being, even Moi tried with that, our former president Moi,
Yes.
and we were sanctioned. Is he brave enough to, if he's going that way, is he brave enough for the consequences that are going to come? That is the issue. Because if you're not brave enough for the consequences, for Kenya to go into... Don't dare! Don't dare!
And there is a lot of truth in that, because immediately after declaring that, that is when the dollar now became something else to Kenya. Only to Kenya, not to Uganda, our neighbors, not to Tanzania, our neighbors, just Kenya alone. And then after that, we saw our nation, people starting talking about, let's pray for the dollar. It is very crazy, right? If Kenya should go down on its knees so that it prays that the dollar inashuka, iweze kushuka, kulingana na shilingi ya Kenya, then it means that somehow they have forced you to go down to your knees to apologize to whatever mistake that you did, right?
That is why we're saying Ruto tried to challenge the capitalistic system. Because this is not about our small or Africa or Kenya. This is a thing of the world. And it runs. This, having a country, this thing of leadership, we should understand it's deeper than we see it. It's deeper than our president. It's deeper than Africa. It goes all above. And
it's even bigger than the Western leaders themselves.
Yeah, the people who dictate, the people who call shots. And these people dictate and call shots through manipulation. Yeah?
Exactly.
So, if you don't do as we want, and that is why Congo gold is going, everything is going. That is why Kenya, we call it Ngamia One. We don't know what is happening.
Nobody knows what happens today.
These are the things that are happening. We sell our rights on daily basis to the West. Our land we lease for years for them. Our resources. So, in terms of what do we get in return?
What do you get in return? But if left that resources to you, what do you do with it? If it's not to fight each other.
That is where leaders are strong. Leaders, not only leaders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Fast forward. Now we have that meeting. We called it How Dare You?
How Dare You?
And then we come to the struggle of the Kenyan shillings against the dollar, the US dollar.
Yeah.
And then we see our president starts flying in howling. Something that now agitates the Kenyans because the economy is not working. He is traveling. There's no solution. Now investors starts moving out of the country.
Yeah, they pull out, and the companies and everything, and the economy is really, really on its, how do we call it?
On the knees.
On the knees.
On its knees.
We're not yet at our knees. Yeah.
So we get there, and then floods come. After the floods come, the deaths.
Those deaths.
Because
the floods. Remember, there's been floods. Is it Madare? Where, people were
there was floods all over in
and then there's
Ukambani.
this one in Mai Mahiu. Yes. They are two different events.
In Mai Mahiu, it was on 28th of April, if I'm not wrong.
That was a dam?
Yes, the dam, which came and washed the village down.
The village
yes,
down. Yeah,
people died, and it was so sad. 2024. Yeah. That was how.
And pia tutasahau there've been pia road a lot of road
carnages, yeah?
Yeah,
too many accidents on the road.
Yeah.
2024 was something, was another year. We've witnessed so many bad years, but 2024 was one of it. And especially, it just hit the economy of the nation.
Yeah, everyone was saying ni kubaya. You can't like, what is happening? I can't, so many people, you won't find them telling you ilikuwa, yes, ilikuwa sawa, lakini tuliumia, kibiashara, kimfuko, whatever. Some business, a lot of business closed down.
It was difficult to console anyone because you are all in the same sinking ship.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
And then comes the finance bill. What happened?
We all know what happened.
Yeah.
With the finance bill and what caused the protests.
You know, there's a problem whereby for the longest time the government has always doing the way its own way. It's called public participation, right?
Yeah.
So it conducts the so-called public participation, but it ends up doing things its own way. The parliament dictating things its own way. At one point, we had our president say that we wanted to be open, not like the previous government have been doing, working under the table.
But you know, the issue of this is going back to the fight of...
Yani, let's come as usual. Karibu sana, Mr. Bonza.
Well, happy to see you guys.
We've been waiting for you. Tulisema wacha tuendelee mahali utatukuta. Let it be. Kwa sababu you had promised that you'll be around, right?
Oh yes.
A recap of 2024. We've just talked about the meeting of His Excellency, our father, President Ruto, with Macron. Those a team that called itself "How Dare You," right?
Yeah,
How Dare You conference.
Yeah.
Whereby Ruto was requested to dare the West. I think it was intentional.
It was.
How dare you? So he was given an free airtime to vomit everything that is in his chest. Probably. Probably they really wanted to know what is deep within him, so that they know how to go about managing the affairs of Africa, now that he was now becoming like the father of Africa. Do you remember?
I agree. And your choice of words, I underline. He was becoming like.
Yes.
He was close but never became.
Almost.
And do you know why? The West, when they strike,
yes,
they use different tactics. But the most effective is the preemptive strike. If today you are going to war with America, before dawn,
yes,
the American bombers will be right in your sky. Hamutapigania kwao, mutapigania kwenu. That is called preemptive. Now, what they were doing with William, Africa is bubbling. See, the spirit of rebellion is not just with the Gen Zs.
Yes.
People are questioning everything.
Yes.
Remember, we're in the era of pieces, whereby it's the era of information. So everyone is questioning authenticity of religion. Should we even marry?
Yes.
Should we pay dowry? Everyone is questioning the many things that they've been doing over time.
Yes.
And now they want concrete answers. Not just ile tu unaambiwa we fanya hivyo ninafaa. Now Africa is looking towards uniting to form a better bloc.
Yeah.
Both for trade, security, and so many other factors.
Yes.
So the preemptive strike by the West was trying to use William to run away with it. It backfired badly because William is very good in oratory.
Yes. Anafungua kila
wale
kitu.
Watu wanaambia wameishi kumsikiza. So akianza kuongea tunakaaga hivi. Tena. Mtu tamaliza nini story? Like for those of us who know him. So the whole story ya hiyo ati alikuwa anaropokwa akisema you must pay us, sijui France wamekuwa wakifanyia sijui nini West Africa. Hiyo yote ni preemptive. Anajaribu kuongea Kenya iko.
So that they know what Africa is working on. Ndio waweze kujua venye wanakata mguu yao wakati pale wataweza.
See the funny thing, intelligence yao Africa iko juu kuliko even the mother country itself. So the Mossad wako kwa ground mbaya sana. Because why? Nyinyi ndio mnachukua two things for granted. The wazungus, the West, they know things don't just happen. Things are made to happen. So your education system is not by default. Someone somewhere is making sure it's corrupted enough. Kutowa empower enough.
Ndiye kose
ndio mwendelee kuwa slaves enough.
So we come from that, we seeing our president become like the president of Africa. Alikuwa he became a threat to Malema, by the way.
He never was.
He became a threat to Malema.
Why did we not allow? Why did we not invite him when PLO Lumumba was launching the African nini? I'll invite Malema. Why did we not attend? Those were intellectuals. They were discussing the entire of Africa. Kona zote, mapungudhe. Hizo citizen hata hujaisikia. That was Malema for you. So why is our president ana blab vitu mob but ukienda pale kwa concrete? Unaona Raila? Raila can be kidogo regarded as a pan-Africanist. Miaka yake yote zile sera amekuwa akisimamia, even participating in some of those peace talks na nini, even commenting on them. Hizo matters zinahusu other countries. This guy has never had. If this guy talk about something, be sure he has an interest.
But let me cut you short as we still on this, because I feel again my brother, you're so emotional in this issue whereby yes, the economy is hitting you direct, everything is hitting you direct, but when we talk about this in this intensity of just like what is happening, why this, because before this, did we see him the way we're seeing him now, or do we see a change in him?
That is where we are coming from, and that is the reason as to why, Mary, that's the reason as to why I started off by talking about how powerful this, our father, deemed in the eyes of the world. Alionekana, sijasema alikuwa powerful.
What have you guys been eating?
Sijasema kwa
mwanzo kwanza hii 2025 tunapeleka aje. What do you think about Christmas?
No,
mwanzo unamuita our father.
It's just a recap.
Do you know the title of father?
Yes.
The weight of it. We have a show that goes by the name. You know what it means?
Yeah, ask your father.
When you regard huyo mtu kama baba.
But what is he of the nation?
Which father hata mtoto afanye nini? God forbid, if one child was to maim another, would you kill the other child?
No, you
we
don't.
shall get there. We shall get there. We are getting there.
Mimi I think hata wale wenye amezaa yeye, I think wanaweza mdizo nasema huyu yenyewe si mzaa.
We will be getting there soon. We are just taking a recap of what happened in 2024.
Is new
and
I'm not even emotional. I just hate underline the word hate, capital H. I just hate conmanship. A word he used himself. He coined himself actually. He said politics of conmanship. Yeah. And more like he talks about it, the more he reflects on him.
Wanasema ukipoint namna hii, always the three fingers are still pointing at you.
Ukiangalia the things alibash the other regime nazo, he's even worse off kwa hizo.
Tutafika hapo.
Anyway,
tukatoka hapo baada ya kubash sasa Macron na IMF na World Bank, kwa sababu alikuwa anasema kwamba we want not a business of tokenism, we want 50-50. And then Macron looks in the face of William and says, William, we have been here way so long in this business. And then all of a sudden, the shilling starts to struggle. This is a recap of what happened in 2024. And then after that, tunamuona baba yetu anaanza kuhangaika. Hatuambii ni kwa nini anakimbia West, anakimbia wapi, France, anakimbia wapi. If he was going to make some apologies, we never knew. The sons and the daughters become agitated. Baba ametuachilia, tunateseka. He doesn't care about the economy of the nation. Amekuwa flying president. Alafu baadaye ana become.
Now, is William Ruto transitioning from a flying president to a lying president? Or is he simply both, a flying president who lies? This is a question that Kenyans themselves sought to find an answer to in the past few days. And look at what they discovered in our weekly satire as compiled by KTN's David Mothoka.
Kwamba, yani, he is not communicating what is happening. Investors are running away. That is in 2024, right?
Yes.
The economy is collapsing. Nothing is working. Education system is sinking. Health is gone.
Social services.
Yes. Yeah. Everything is going. And then in April, rains come after prayers. Baada ya maombi, mvua inakuja. Devastating rain comes. Where watu wanaanza kuuliza pesa za emergency. Ruto, pesa za emergency ulipeleka wapi?
I'm afraid I have some sad news on the devastation being caused by floods. The death toll from floods has now risen to 83 after 13 more bodies were recovered in the last one day.
It's just about a recap of what happened in 2024. Pesa zilienda wapi? It's silent. People die. After that, uchumi inaendelea kusink. What happened towards June? Kuna sasa mahali tulikuwa tumefika. Pala ambapo sasa finance bill. The state comes inajifanya kwamba it's taking that wanaita public participation. Public participation kwamba kuja uconfirm hapa kwamba hii tumeikubali. Everybody refuses the finance bill. But he goes forward na anasema kwamba wacha ningoje nione ni nani atafanya nini? Ni nani atapinga the finance bill? Take her from there.
You see, all these events, I like the way you're putting it, because zinaweza kaa kama random event. Ukistudy chaos theory, it open up your mind to so much of what is happening. Zinakaa kama ni separate incidents, but they are all connected. This regime, this regime can only thrive in chaos, if you don't know. Hawezi, ni kama you have to keep, lazima uko ukikoroga. Otherwise itapakolate, ikiachiliwa tu. So that is why tunatoka kutoka kwa hii, tunaruka kwa hii. Tunatoka kwa hii.
Consistency.
Believe you me, chaos. It's chaos theory. I may not be able to put exactly in context the way it's happening, but read about chaos theory, now what has been happening kwa hii regime, like leo hii Raila kwa serikali, true?
Yes.
One or the other, his lieutenants,
yes,
4 of them wako pale ndani, heavy dockets. That tells you Raila is squarely pale. Ruto saizi be the chief campaigner wa Raila kwa hii chairman ya AU. So technically they are working together. Pale mwanzo nini ilikuwa happen? Alikuwa amempiga vita ikai vita. Don't forget akishoot watu maandamano ile tulikuwa tunafanya pale mwanzo. Before Gen Z likaka ile overshadow kila kitu. But we had heavy maandamanos pale mwanzo. Me participated in those. So ukitoka hapo angalia vile walivamia shamba Uhuru Kenyatta. Mpaka Uhuru akimwambia, "Why go for my children, come for me." Then kidogo wamekuta mpaka Madhe. Unakumbuka? Madhe akisema, "I've been paying my taxes." If there is one shilling ambaye KRA wanajua sijalipa, wakuje ndawapatia. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And today what is happening? That is chaos for you. Not they are together. Na kuchapa kiasi kwamba nikwambia tuache, unasema haki ya Mungu. Umeelewa? This man is a master of that. Unajua Moi pia alikuwa na yake, Machiavellian ile ya nini? Moi alitumia.
No, I'm saying like Uhuru and Ruto right now.
They ain't together.
They are not together.
Elewa kitu moja. Bibi kama hana kwa kwenda, anavumilia makofi kwa hiyo nyumba. So akiambiwa tu wewe wageni wakuje usiongee, that will be that. Utasemaga bibi ana nini anakuwa tu mpole aongeangi. Lakini kweli kabisa hajaipewa nafasi true character yake kuje come out. When get. So Uhuru is already pushed to a corner na nakumbushwa wewe bwana. Nini mambo gani nataka kuanza? So you'd rather
shrink back.
Peace. Hata siku shrink rather. But okay. Mimi la sina energy ya kupigana. Huu mjinga hachoki. That's my point. So, ukiangalia Gen Z saizi, they still the war continuing. Juu walitoka kwa streets wakaingia kwa online mitandao.
Yeah.
Si ndio? Yeye anafanya nini? Ameanza kwa persecute through the same medium.
We shall get there. Let's talk a little bit about the finance bill. Was it necessary to get where we got?
Yes. Mwanzo Ruto wenye wanamjua watakwambia he's one man who cannot take no for an answer. Hajui hiyo. Mwambie no. Hiyo umekosana. Hiyo umekuwa enemy number 1. Na he lose everything. Ushaona mtu mwenye anaweza risk 10, anaweza risk 90 to gain 10. Mathematically it makes sense.
It does,
right? Yeah. Because cost benefit ratio. So yeye his ego is so big. Unaelewa? Hauna any room ya kuibruise. Uhuru alikuwa anatoka anasema ni manume. Nimekoma. Gazeti ni madeke itafunga nyama. You remember those words? That's a man who's at peace with himself. Because nini nyingine unaweza nirushia? Let me tell you how energy works. Energy, when you umesoma hata kung fu, they'll tell you, if you throw a punch, ukijaribu kuresist vile inakuja itakuumiza. Lakini ukiembrace, then you take that you energy, then umrudishie in a multiple twice. If today you mock me and I laugh at the same joke, utafeel vibaya, bala mimi feel vibaya. Utafeel vibaya badala yangu. So, msee hajuangi hiyo. Yeye anakuja vita tupigane. So the finance bill was not like totally bad. Yeah? The man needed finances. Alihitaji kuturn over the economy. Yeah? Don't forget we are coming post-COVID. Yeah? Hapo kinyuma kidogo kulikuwa sijui nzige. We still had so many issues. There's because tumetuweka tu kabisa on our knees. But yeye ile conversation huwa mna have iwe at the office, iwe in your household, in your house with your family, you cannot just dictate issues.
So his biggest problem was to marshal to everything that has to
not happen. His, you know, you put like in that context, that is his major. He has always been. How he got here even cannot explain. Lakini yeye mse kubulldoze issues.
But let me
Mary, tukifika sasa kwa level yenye, because we started off with Macron acting on behalf and the other team, How Dare You conference.
Yeah.
Talking about the finances of Kenya, and then we come to this, the finance bill. And then everybody all of a sudden is talking about IMF and World Bank.
I'll comment because
kile kitu ambacho tayari alikuwa amekataa mwanzo kwamba we shall not abide by this, we shall abide by our own rules as African yenye inajielewa.
My issue in this whole issue, is there's ni controversy. Do we call them controversy? It's a bit of controversy in who he works for, what is his agenda, what is his belief, how is executing issues. Because tukiangalia, I ask myself, who was he pushing? Why was he pushing this finance bill too hard that it had to cost Kenyans' lives? Yeah. Why? Because as much as he's a brutal person as people tend to portray him and all that.
No, he is.
Yeah, I'm saying because it's alleged.
That one is an undisputed fact.
So it is.
Sitting on the fence. Huh? She's trying to sit.
You're playing safe, but it's okay. Ukiulizwa quote me.
No, I'm not saying
the man is brutal.
Okay.
So the issue is in this whole situation that who was pushing this agenda too hard, because is taxation we've been working with the taxation we've had. We had issues, yes, but we had managed for a lot of time or for a long time.
Yes.
But since the issues came up with the World Bank, the IMF thing, it became so evident that they had a hand in this finance bill that cost lives of Kenyans.
And they reject it emphatically, and they have got very valid reasons to reject it, Honorable Speaker. I really want to send a message to the president. And if he has read the book of Chinua Achebe, Okonkwo was told, this boy has called you father, don't kill him. He went ahead and killed him because he has been told by customs to kill him. IMF, Brinted Wood, and the USA is telling you to kill Kenyans, but the Kenyans are crying, the blood of Kenyans will remain in your hands. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I oppose.
Now, if
they were pushing agendas,
yes,
and they were pushing them hard, and they were pushing the man too hard to the corner.
Now, from where we started, the meeting, the How Dare You meeting, to the finance bill. Now, can you confirm that the West was putting a point across to Ruto that we are the people?
Ruto knows. It's not debatable. You think he's gotten there without knowing who's asked to kiss? Pardon the context. But you don't get to rise to those levels politically, yeah?
Yes.
Without knowing which toes not to step on. That man is too smart for his own good. When he was the deputy president, yeah, alingetukana Uhuru, lakini privately. So Mayor, it's even alleged he once did slap the guy. You understand? But publicly, alikuwa sema nini? Ule ni boss yangu. You understand? So what unasini waji? Ndo vile ni mpole. So when it goes to the West, hapa nje ataongea wakati yako na hiyo podium. Lakini huko akifika anapiga magoti. Si ndio wadosi. You get? So he may have pledged so much than he could deliver. For sure he knew we were in a hole economically. He knew because walikopa pamoja. Actually he was the major influencer. Ukienda ukirecap ukirudi nyuma in those media yani wakisema kuna wakati nilibetiwa kwa bunge we are borrowing and all that.
Yeah.
He was the one major defender wa kusema as long as we are borrowing for development. Hata si Uhuru. Then we want to follow how his hand is connected to much that happened maybe kwa NYS. You'd know who benefited the most. Yeah? Kwa hizo projects. So why would be the biggest defender? So he knew the hole we were in. He knew what he was inheriting. He didn't care. All he knew, ndo attacks that wakitaka kukufa wakufe. That's for sure.
Carefree.
That's for sure.
No, now we come to the protests. What is your view on the protests, Mary? Was it necessary vijana wafikishwe mahali ambapo walifikishwa? Or was it necessary that the Gen Zs got to push the government to that much before it acts otherwise?
Yeah, it was. It was. Because the finance bill, as if you went through the finance bill, there were certain things that were pushing Kenyans to the wall. And we had to push back. Yeah? So it was necessary because the people who are sitting in the house where they should implement and make the laws of this country, the members of parliament, were not doing due diligence.
Why?
Because there was a lot of, as we could have, we saw in the news, there was a lot of bribing in towards the bill to go through. So it was necessary for Kenyans to push back. It was, unfortunately, we didn't push back as a country. We left a group of
some
individuals to push, but we didn't push as a country. Something that me and you should have done and him should have done. Gone to the street for that bill.
Looking at how the government handled the whole issue, Gen Z issue, Mr. Bonsa.
See, the Gen Z phenomenon, is something that should be studied. What happened kwa hiyo period inaelezea vitu mob sana. It's ina describe mpaka what has been ailing our society. Because siku zote kuna na disconnect between the ruled and those being ruled. Then those being ruled, kati yao umejieka huko naona kama hiyo issue ni ya wale si yetu. You'd be surprised kwa sababu Gen Zs 2 years before Hata wako wanaja na politics ya nchi.
Never ever.
They were begged by Chebukati to register for votes.
Yes.
Wakadai ya nini? Hakuna change itameka. Then 2 years down the line, hao ndo walikuwa wa kwanza kuzua, and yet siwezi sema, I would say with authority, hao ndo walikuwa list wakifeel hiyo pinch list.
Yeah.
Because hawajafika ile level si tunalipa bills. Mtu mwenye analipa school fees, you have a sick mother you're taking care of, yani uko in employment, you look at your payslip, yani the middle class, and hao mwenye sasa mngesema ndio millennials, yeah, those wenye wa clock to 30 hapo kuja hivi ka 40 something, hao ndo watu walikuwa nakasikia. Umeelewa?
Lakini sasa ni watoto wao.
But we've been to maandamanos before. Mimi tulianza kuzichapa tukiwa kampo. You get? So we know how much you can achieve, but on this one ilikuwa ko tumetoka maandamano juzi na Rao. You get?
Yes.
Maandamano Rao ilikuwa Gen Z. Ilikuwa sana ya millennials. Go look at those clips zimejaa kwa YouTube.
Yeah.
Look at the faces, vile zimenyauka, zilikuwa kwa street zimetoka Kibich. Uniambia kama kuna matinio la ka soft wenye walikuwa time ya Gen Z. You understand? So it's a phenomenon ambayo inafaa kuwa studied probably. Na why that energy iliwatouch zaidi wao. Na in fact, wao ndio walitukataza sisi hata tusijoin. They were saying acha tasiwa wazazi peke yao. The millennials walikuwa dai nyinyi tu mkae kando na story. Si ndio tuna, so even the spaces where walikuwa na discuss na kipanga, ulikuwa una feel too excluded, you more or less out of it. You see? So I would not really nikia hapa niseme ati naweza quantify, niseme it was this or this way. But kulikuwa na gaps ambazo probably had the parents and other groups been part of it,
ingetoka otherwise.
Alafu when you reach a certain age, hakuna kitu important kama end game.
Yeah, sure.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Today, if you're doing this show, what is the end game? There has to be. Then kama haina, you unachana nayo una try something. So kwao, wakisema this game must go, they didn't even have anyone in mind. They didn't even know kama ni jeshi itachukua. You see? So it was like, so if not him, who? How? You get? So find a revolution will come around. Sindio? We may even hold him out of office. Sindio? Juzi kuna nchi kadhaa ime happen. But hasiku going to chaos.
In fact, zote zilitokana na Kenya.
Funny enough, lakini zao zilikuwa tu successfully so, unasikia bunge imechukua, so iko imehold for a while, wengine jeshi inashikilia, sindio? Yetu ilikuwa iende aje. So if this guy goes, what?
Mary, kama this guy could have gone during this Gen Z's protest, what do you think would be the state of the nation today?
I think it will be more chaotic. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
So in other words, yeye kusimama na kuresist, it was worth it?
No, it was not worth it. It was not his choice to make. From where I sit, you don't play God. And the other two, you see, the Kibaki Raila, Tasso, hakushikana mashati wakainuana ati nani ndume. Sindio? But ukiprolong too long enough, itakwaza watu wengine watatu, watasema hapana tukaeni chini. Then useme, muulizeni shida nini? You understand? Inge take others bila yeye kutumia the heavy hand. Unatoa mpaka jeshi unakuja unasema aje. So tumeitwa na bunduki. So hawa watoto wenye hata si nafaa kutolea mshipi hata si rungu. Unaelewa the disconnect. Nimesema kuna disconnect sana kwa hii society. Yaani una realize mtu ni kama kabisa. Kuna wakati mmoja Uhuru aliuliza kwa mkate akasema sijui nitoka 500. Juzi naye sijui Ruto amesema something the tune tu ambaye unashinda. Do you live here?
They live another.
So kuna na hiyo disconnect. Unakosa kuelewa. Wewe kwani uligrow wapi? Unataka basic knowledge, basic information. Sindio?
Mary, what is your rating as how the Kenyan parliament behaved or performed in 2024 generally?
It performed poorly. I'll say they were the worst performers. They are the worst performers. Why? We expect them to do right by mwananchi. If wao ndo wanatengeneza sheria, hautengenezi sheria ambayo inamaliza
Yes.
ama ambayo inaharibu nchi. But you have to be there for the people. Sometimes you put all your political agendas away, because if every member of parliament alieka interest yake since the formation of our country, here ingekuwa a country, but people sacrificed their agendas aside, their interests aside, to make this country a better country. But what we are seeing in that parliament, there are few sane people, they are more insane.
So, looking at that, do you think last year changed the whole perspective of Kenyans towards their politicians?
Exactly. You see, trust is a very, very important thing when you're a leader.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the people you leading can trust you, the whole thing is done. And what did they create? That they created untrustworthy kind of environment where you speak lie, where you speak. I don't know how even to call it. Today you are a yes person. Tomorrow you are no person. You are not predictable.
And you have no apology for that?
Yeah, you're not consistent. So how do we Kenyans trust in that kind of person? It becomes very hard.
It becomes very hard.
Yeah.
Now, looking at Kenyans, how can you rate Kenyans as far as trustworthiness and accountability is concerned?
I believe we've changed a lot. Kenyans have changed a lot. Initially, and as I say, we suffer from some amnesia where we keep on forgetting about things. But whatever I know too is when you push too hard, they have a way of retreating. So the thing is, we have a generation that is more eloquent. Yeah? Ukiniumiza na kwambia umeniumiza.
Na you promise me, you have to deliver what you promised.
You have to deliver. So we have different generations.
Yes.
And we have a generation that is different from other generation, the Gen Zs. They want to know, they want facts, they want, and that makes a different generation to guard or guide. So when us as Kenyans, we're becoming a nation where we want to know, we are reading more.
Yes.
We are researching more on issues. Yeah.
Do you think President Ruto in particular, I can't talk of the government because he has been running the show all by himself. By him telling the Gen Zs that now you just go on your keyboard and you just start pressing the keys and then dollar starts running out. Could it have been the cause as to why he has been bullied online lately so much? Because when you do what he has requested you to do, nothing comes out of that keyboard.
We've changed. The world has changed. Tumetoka kwa magazeti as it used to. Nowadays we are more of online people. So these are things that are just changing with time. Initially we had alikuwa naitwa Guido Guido
cartoonist, yes.
Yeah, right now I'm hearing this Kibet Bull, the
yes,
cartoonist.
Yeah.
So it's just that things are changing from this to that. Yeah, they're changing. They might change in a bad way or in a good way, but it's just these changes are shifting.
But the question is, did Ruto really anticipate what the powers that these Gen Zs hold as pertains technology?
No, he didn't. He didn't. He didn't. No one saw that coming. No one saw that coming. But again, it's the push that ilikuwa too hard. You see now, whatever they were protesting about is whatever is hitting still back.
Yes.
Shisha, is it Taifa or what? People are crying because the social services continue to spiral down. So this protest was so legit. This cry was a cry inaitwa kilio cha haki. Kilikuwa kilio cha haki. The thing is, what is he doing with that information? Hiyo haki
is trying to silence the it's like wewe unaendesha gari and then unaona moshi kwa side mirror, unaona moshi inatoka and then you decide hata unaweka madigaga kama uko nazo hizo ndio kusudi usiendelee kuona moshi, ama tairi unasikia ina screech, you decide to crank the volume of your stereo so that you don't get to hear the noise. That is, hiyo ndio imekuwa ni system ya government. Yeah.
That is where now it hurts Kenyans. That is where inaumiza zaidi. Because wakati inalia kilio cha haki, at least sit down and strategize towards putting things together.
Yes.
For us to continue. You might not be able to put everything together, but at least you are able to put some things together.
Yes.
So that we can make steps. Yeah. We are not, it's not the way they're doing it. They're doing politics of 2027 instead of right now working on the things that are very, very, let me call them the basics as of now.
Yeah, I've used that analogy of a driver. Anasikia tairi inachomeka nyuma na anaamua kucrank volume ya sauti ya music yake ndani ndio kusudi asisikie sauti. That's the same thing that our president is doing. Ya kwamba wakati ambapo watu wanapiga kelele, waendelea mbele, weka headphones, drive on. You don't care about what is happening.
But how far are you going to go with your vehicle?
That's the question. How far are you going to go? Unaweza endelea ukichomeka na unachomeka na muziki yako kwa masikio tu. Yeah, probably that is where we are headed, right? The Adani saga is just a recap of what happened in 2024.
Yeah. With the airport.
The airport.
Wengine wetu hatujapanda ndege lakini tunapiga kelele. That was the statement
of the father.
Yeah.
The father says hata wengine wenu hata mjui inakaa namna gani na mna
tunapiga kelele. The thing is, we might sit here and try to get it's a recap, yes?
Yes.
Because this recap is meant for us to see what is happening and to have a positive is it a positive attitude towards our country? Not an individual, it's a country. If I'm a Kenyan, we have to have a positive.
Yeah, for Kenya as a country, yes.
For Kenya as a country.
Patriotism, there is
patriotism.
Yes.
And so, with all these talks, we might not be able to solve anything because mimi na wewe ni mwananchi wa kawaida. Lakini kuna jambo ambayo tunaweza saidia hapa ama pale.
Yes.
Kwa hizi discussion.
Probably by talking, because they say when you stop talking, you start fighting, right?
You start fighting.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Adani issue was a lot. And ilikuwa controversy. It's like we are seeing, unaona hizi movies ambazo ziko na series. It's a series after series.
A series after series.
Ikishatoka series, we go to season 2. I don't know which season we are in.
So this is 2025 and we're expecting much, but much positive.
Yeah.
Sio kama ya last year.
Yeah, with the Adani issue, there was a lot about our president having shares with the Adanis, and this is why. But these things have been there. Even the regime of Uhuru.
It's all about interest, right? Leadership is all about interest.
It's all about interest.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem comes in, because sometimes our leaders are putting more of their interest.
Yeah.
Mbele kushinda the way you work with the people. Yeah.
And then we come towards the end. Even paka juzi ndio tumeona abduction. What do you think about the government? Somebody talked about a father feeding on his own children. The government maiming its own children, sons and daughters.
The thing is,
the abduction, yeah.
The thing is, when you want to, ukitaka kusuluhisha jambo, unafanya nini? because you just don't go aimlessly and do things and then afterwards umefika mahali I messed up. What is his plan with abducting these kids?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's a freedom of speech, freedom of expression.
Could it be to scare others? They call it neutralizing, to scare others.
Yeah.
So that you don't follow the same route
I
of
think
criticizing
it's trying to stamp authority, but I'll say that is stamping authority in a wrong way. When you stamp authority, yes, you will stamp your authority, but if you stamp that authority in a wrong way, it brings another chaos instead. Because if that continued, it's a chaos. It's chaotic.
The way it was almost turning out.
Yeah, and I love the other time we had a discussion, and you bringing these to light that if this continues, there will be no more fear of our policemen, the people in uniform.
Yeah, sure. If it continues like this, you'll have nothing to lose other than your life. And if you know that your life is also in danger, then you just let it.
So
the way our young men and women are doing online, it's all about the frustrations that they are going through. No work, whatever is being promised is not being delivered. More so when it comes from the head of the state. It becomes like a conmanship. A father who keeps on lying, kaini tu hapo ninaenda kuwaletea mkate, kaini hapo naenda kuwaletea ugali. Mnakaa paka unasinzia. Kuna siku usingizi inakataa kukuja and then you say no. Tell us the truth, Baba. Just tell us the truth. Now, what do you think is coming in 2025? Because kwa mkesha wa kuamkia 1st of January 2025, our father, His Excellency, made an announcement. Kubali kwamba tumekuwa na shida mingi sana in 2024.
We all agree that this year has been remarkable. A year to remember for its many challenges, obstacles and risks that tested our resolve and threatened our prosperity, security and happiness. Equally, it has been a year of numerous opportunities, successes and progress that enabled us overcome these undeniable difficulties and forge ahead with heroic determination.
But he remains optimistic. Should we hold to that? Kwa kuwa uko nyuma mara mingi bado tumemwona akiwa mwongo. Should we remain optimistic?
I think 2024 was season 1. 2025 is season 2.
So what do we expect? Kwa sababu tumeshasoma
na tumeshaingia na where is Kindiki? Did you see that?
Yeah, paper questioning, asking questions, huh?
That is where we started season 2.
Speculations to
where is Kindiki? So let
the slap issue. Unasikia kuna mtu amepigwa kofi somewhere.
Yeah. So I'll say let us be optimistic. Let us be optimistic and let us be positive.
Yes.
2025. You know, the thing is, as we were discussing again the other day, when your country has a lot of these kind of issues and this kind of controversies and this kind of burden, it weighs down on an individual.
Yes.
It stresses you as an individual.
Personally.
Yes. You might not understand nini inafanyika. So everything is bad. There is a lot of negative energy because the negative energy starts from the top and affecting you to the bottom.
And there's nothing that eats you like the negative energy, right?
Yeah, so I'll say as a nation, don't do it for Ruto. Don't do it for President Ruto. No. Do it for yourself. Do it for this country. Because everywhere you go, you'll hear everything is Ruto. Even your own problem, There's someone who
Yes,
said, umeshindwa kupeleka watoto shule, wewe ndio umewazaa. It's not Ruto's problem.
Hata kuna wakati ambapo Moi alisema kwamba hata bibi nakataa kushika mimba, wanasema Moi.
So that is where we are. Hapo ndio tuko, because hii negative energy tumeinyonya toka juu, inaendelea kutu weigh down. So economically, socially, everything turns out to be bad.
Yes.
Because of the negative energy. Because we are in an environment that is full of negative energy.
Makyu, as we are talking today, I know there are so many people who are reaping in this negative country that we are feeling today.
Yeah.
So someone say that even the most of the evil of the leaders, he always has his followers.
Yeah.
Those who really love him.
Yeah.
And then someone also say that when you love an evil leader, so much good happens to you. How true is that?
I'll say.
Is it biblical of loving your enemy?
Yeah, you should love your enemy.
Loving your enemy. So,
you should love your enemy.
With the hatred that people have for our president, beloved president, I call him beloved president because I've got no other leader.
You have him.
I just have to have him as my president.
Yeah, exactly.
With the much hatred, ambapo kila mtu saizi, juzi imepigwa kura ati the most corrupt president in the world. Yeah, anakuja number 2. Number 2 after yule mwenye hayuko kwa uongozi. Yeah. So which means some people are saying that he has been rigged. He's supposed to be number 1. Most of those people who voted are Kenyans. Almost 40%, 40,000 Kenyans voted in favor of His Excellency as the most corrupt president in the world. This is very, very crazy.
But in real sense, Kenya is experiencing democratic backslide. It is shifting to authoritarian kind of
leadership
way, and the states, there's high levels of perceived corruption, you see. So that energy,
is it perceived corruption or is it actual corruption?
Actual.
Because
let us call it actual corruption. That energy, it's really negative, and it's eating into this nation. And nation is you and me.
Individual.
Tukisema Kenya is you and me. Sure. Me and you from Kenya. So when it's affecting Kenya, it's affecting me and you. When it's eating negatively, it's eating me and you. So what do we do? Because there's negative energy. This is the environment we are in. Kenya is our environment. And if we don't change the environment we are in terms of how we perceive things, so that this negative energy won't eat into our daily basis.
Because however much you complain as an individual, you still need to go home to pay your bills.
Yeah, na hii kitu inaenda mpaka inaingia kwa families. It's so bad that it's going into families, parents to children. And it's like everyone is against everyone. It's becoming...
But Kenyans are very resilient. And kando na hii corruption yote yenye tuko na, all the scandals, all the negativity that we are having, the falling economy, still people are driving.
Yeah.
Still people are building.
Yeah.
Bado watu wanatoka kwa nyumba hawalali.
It's going strong.
That is how strong Kenyans are, right?
Yeah. And remember, there's that person, hata tukilalamika say and all that, he's taking things positively. Yeah. And he's doing good. And he's doing amazingly, because it's nyinyi pigeni kelele, but me, I'm doing what I can within my power, and I'm working on this what I have positively, and it's working. Because
when you continue complaining, nothing is changing in your life. And that is why we are here as Jenga Kenya YouTube TV, to inspire you, to give you that motivation always to move forward, because it behooves us.
True.
You and me to carry Kenya forward.
Exactly.
Yeah, if we stop working, then Kenya stops moving.
Kenya stops.
Yeah.
And remember, Kenya is you and me.
Kenya is you and me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a lovely day. It is very, very lovely to have you here today on our new studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jenga Kenya Studios.
Yeah.
This is where we shall be bringing you everything Kenyan.
Yeah.
And for the good of Kenya.
Exactly.
Always be positive, love one another, and let's wake up each and every morning and make a difference.
Let unity be our shield and defender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Let
you.
us be optimistic.
Let's be optimistic as we say thank you so much for viewing us even to this end.